followed in each other's footsteps for almost the entire seed. And here we go. We have a start to round 2. SassageLink going to do the same thing. Oh, look, we have Darknuts on the overworld. Again. Although this time, the start of the overworld is not nearly as difficult as last time. Sassage gets his first bomb drop. RKC is going to head towards the Vanilla 3 spot. Oh, look, more blue Darknuts. This game likes to put blue enemies right outside of start. We have level 5 as the first dungeon found. That will be at Vanilla 3. 25 rupees for bombs this time, a far cry from the one we saw last season. We may have an early item here in 5. It's likely going to just be the transport stair. The SassageLink is now heading into level 5 himself. He will soon get the same fate that RKC has gotten, which is that it was a transport. Now the runners, taking a death before he can get in. The runners do have the option to Kanana key that room down. I imagine that would be kind of difficult to do with Bull's voice, but you could. SassageLink is going to go ahead and make his way into that transport stair. RKC picked up some bombs on the way. And the Vire keys take 2 hits each. Let's see. Tektite's rolled up. RK is continuing to explore 5. Finds the second old man. Does RK want to clear this room? It looks like he just wants to try for this bomb wall. It does not open. And if my eyes are not deceiving me, the Vires do not go down to a single bomb. RK is going to leave level 5 and probably make his way towards the level 1 location. SassageLink may be following behind him soon. And the blue Moblins rolled to max HP. So Virus rolled up, blue Octorox rolled up, blue Moblins rolled up. It looks like everything in this seed so far has just rolled up. And level 7 found over on RK side. It's like you cannot pirouette that door open. He is going to opt not to spend his 1 bomb to try to get into level 7. Instead, he's probably going to go to the Forgotten spot. Oh, the Armo spot. Okay, that makes sense too. SassageLink going to take a death in level 5. We'll see if he continues to explore it a little bit. Looks like he is going to. He did not pick up a key, so I'm curious as to if he'll try to Kanana key or if he's just going to go back into the stair and try to clear that NSU room, hoping to find an item. See, the Armos item is the silver arrows. No need to purchase arrows in this seed. Those are available right from the get-go. Not the most helpful item at the moment, but once the runners are able to get a bow, those silver arrows will become extremely valuable. And RK has found level 8 at Vanilla 6. Let's see how far he decides to go here. Silvers were at level 1 last race. So for those who did not see the last race, the silver arrows were located in level 1. Here they're located in the Armos. SassageLink is continuing to make his way through this level 5. So RK is bombing these Gibdos to death, which honestly is a pretty good strat if because they do tend to want to clump together. And gets the very last one, has half a heart. SassageLink picks up a power bracelet as the floor drop in 5. RK finds a ladder block in 8. He's probably going to go through that bomb hole now. He is rewarded with a stair, a refund on his bombs, and a bunch of fires. Let's see, it is a transport stair in level 8. And level 8 is, honestly, looks like a, oh, what is that? Almost like a crane with a really fat body. Not a crane, I don't even know. It's a shape. That's what we know about it. It's a shape. SassageLink taking another death in 5. As RK finds a stair, it is another transport, or the other end of the transport that he decided not to take earlier. I don't recall which. Sassage is now going to leave level 5. He has thoroughly explored as much as he can. He's probably going to want to come back with bow and arrows or keys. Sassage finds the Triforce. Well, Sassage doesn't find the Triforce anywhere. RK finds the Triforce in 8. We'll see if he decides to keep digging it or not. He does opt to do so. Sassage is going to try to get some bombs here on the coast. And he's going to go ahead and use that power bracelet to his advantage to get back to, or to get over to the Armos item and Vanilla 6 very quickly here. Sassage will get his silver arrows in just a second. RK continuing to dig 8. He will find an old man here, most likely. No, actually, it's not. Interesting. There are very few of those rooms that have no floor that are not old men, but that is a potential drop room, I believe. Like this one is. Yes, game. I bet the runners would like to have more nothing. We can also now confirm that our candle will either be under the Forgotten Spot or under the Blue Ring Armos. And here's our first bomb upgrade of the seed. 116 rupees. RK is not able to afford it. Sassage will also not be able to afford it when he gets down there. If he goes down there. The ropes seem to have rolled up to 2. RK will be rewarded with a key, and probably is best off up-aying out of here, as he is now down in the bottom foot of 8. Sassage will go ahead and look through this 8 himself. It's a little bit of a brighter pink. That may just be due to hardware versus emulator differences. He's going to see the stair here. We'll see if he decides to kill off the Wall Masters first. He does. So he will know that the Triforce is in this room. Oh, shoot. And RK has to be a little careful here. If he does take a bop at any point, he will not be able to clear this room out. He needs to keep his sword beams to be able to hit the Gibdo mostly. Because the Pole's voice is capable of coming down to where he is, although it looks like he's going to be safe now as long as he does not take a Tektite bop. With the Tektite dead, he can just kind of roll through this dungeon as he pleases. receives knowledge that that room is a key, he may opt to go in and get that, depending on what his door situation is. Instead, he is going to up an A, probably try to make his way up towards that north wing of level 8, as we have only currently seen... Actually, I don't think we've seen any items out of 8 yet. SassageLink is going to go ahead and opt to clear this pulse voice room. We are once again seeing where the runners are very much following in each other's footsteps. SassageLink now opting to take the transport. Takes him back to that Wallmaster room. He now knows he has to either bomb wall, or he might be ladder blocked. I do seem to recall there was a ladder block in 8, so yes, that might actually just be he's ladder blocked out of 8 and cannot get any of the items, can only get the Triforce. It'll be interesting to see if either of the runners decide to go back to level 8 after that knowledge that they are ladder blocked out of all 3 items in there. That is not necessarily a large wing of the dungeon to check for 3 items. It's about the size of a level 1. Nice value on the medium secret being 38 rubies. And the candle is 51! He is 1 rupee shy of being able to buy... I imagine he's going to stick around up here, try to get a rupee, and just buy that candle. He might even think about forcing a 5-er. Forcing a 5 rupee might actually be his best bet here. SassageLink is going to see these windows, wants to take them out. RK gets his 1 rupee. He can now go buy the candle. RK is once again our first runner with a candle that will be required to get into the level 8 vanilla spot. Whether or not the right candle is available before this point, before you have to go in there is another matter entirely. And with his newly found candle, he's going to go opt to check Spectacular Rock. And SassageLink gets the same news that RK did. The top half of level 8 is in fact ladder blocked. He's going to try to bomb this wall. It will open and just lead him back to the transport. And now we have level 9 at level 9, so level 9 is not moved from level 9. So I think if you're RK, you want to make your way over to the forest, probably pick up the large secret on the way into the vanilla 8 spot, and go to the vanilla 8 spot. Sassage is going to continue to dig this level 8 as much as he possibly can. RK has picked up our first heart, a container of the seed at 13 minutes, which, for being 13.5 minutes in, we have seen very few items. 97 for the large secret is not a bad amount, as that is basically vanilla. And when combined with the slightly higher than average medium secret, it's basically a wash. If anything, it's better money than you would normally have vanilla. RK is going to open up the vanilla 8 spot, but go check his coast item first. See if he even needs to buy this. Or buy this. Get the ladder. It's an any key. So the ladder is not strictly going to be required as of yet. We are still blocked out of 3 items in level 8 by that ladder. But so far nothing required has been behind it, and we have a level 3 sighting at vanilla 8. Now this room was not cleared out by RK. This room that SassageLink is in now, so this could be an item on the floor. As RK finds blue or red land molas and is going to attempt to take them out. gonna opt to do the glitch where if you kill one land mola, the other one will inexplicably die from loneliness. And is rewarded with a key. And SassageLink is rewarded with a key, so keys for both runners are even. RKC a little bit lower on bombs than Sassage is, but has that candle. However, SassageLink will probably consider purchasing a candle while he's up here. He might also just opt to not do the vanilla 8 spot for a while like he did last seed. And he now knows he is ladder blocked out of level 8, opting not to get the Triforce. It's an interesting play to make. I don't necessarily think I agree with it, because you may get a recorder beforehand, but on the other hand, he does have the power bracelet, which effectively gives him free access back to the level 6 location, so it's ultimately an A or B about it. SassageLink is going to go back into level 7 now. I don't know if he initially came here to begin with. He might not have. But I'm curious to see if he will opt to dig level 7, and it looks like he is going to. RK finds a stair room in level 3 with a bunch of red gorillas, which is good for bomb drops. Sassage finds a heart in 7 on the floor. Never a bad thing to see the floor drop early, and our item in level 3 is the red candle. Meaning that you could not get away with not purchasing a candle, and the wand is the stair item in level 7. SassageLink will be the first runner to take a combat advantage in the seed, as he now has the ability to deal white sword damage to any enemy that is not a Wizrobe. He is just looking for the Triforce in this level 7, and he's done in here. And there's the Triforce swallowed by a like. SassageLink is going to have the 5-room level 7 dream, as RK picks up the Triforce in level 3. Currently a 1 Triforce difference between the two runners, but because of the nature of where that Triforce was in level 8, it's not as big of a difference as it may appear on paper. So we know that SassageLink will have to get a candle at some point. He may opt to do a similar strategy to what he did last race, which is to put that off for as long as possible. And so far, not going for an early candle is going to pay off, as with the wand, the red candle doesn't have a ton of intrinsic value. And I'll be curious to see what the floor drop item at level 3 is. If that's not anything major, like if it's just a heart container or a book or one of the boomerangs, SassageLink may be able to get away with just holding off on buying a candle until as late as possible. However, I do absolutely agree with RK's decision to go ahead and just check for this floor item in 3. It's a relatively small dungeon. It's not the most difficult enemy set. SassageLink is going to try to get into the White Sword item cave. Thankfully, the red Dark Nuts did not roll high, so he should be able to just use that wand hitbox to his advantage. Use the iframes of the Dark Nut, and we'll pick up a heart container. RK is continuing to dig level 3. Now that we have a map of it, well, it kind of looks like a rolled-up grappling hook, actually. This may be one instance where RK wishes he had that red candle to make these land molas a little bit easier to take out, because he's using quite a few bombs here. Does have to be careful. Gets it down. Fortunately, no item. And level 1 is at the vanilla 5 spot. Oh, that's a toll room. And I agree with leaving the heart here. You just got one for free off of the White Sword item. You know you're not going to need hearts for that White Sword item. And bombs may be at a premium in levels such as level 9, level 6. We find a heart container first off in level 1, so he at least it's a zero-sums game, if nothing else. If nothing else, it's a zero-sums game in level 1 for SassageLink. The stair room drops nothing for him. And a lot of bomb droppers in this level 1 is actually probably a good sign. Unless they're all here and none of them are at 9, which would be awful. RK takes a death deep in level 3. We'll see if he goes back or not. He may decide not to go back. He is not going to. You see level 1 looks kind of like a little skull cap. A second heart container in level 1. It's not necessarily great news for SassageLink, because RK is going to go check out what's at Vanilla 2. What do we have? It's level 6. Not necessarily the most friendly of dungeons to do early, because it tends to be quite large, have a lot of, rooms, and if you get unlucky, you might have a very tough combat situation to get one of the 2 items in there. SassageLink is continuing to dig the level 1 here. As RK obeys, he is going to go ahead and go south. Key counts for the runners have stayed relatively even, so we don't need to necessarily be concerned about that. Oh, that is an early 6 Triforce. And we're hearing that it is 3 hearts in level 1. That's probably not what SassageLink wanted to see. Looks like RK is going to leave level 6. I didn't quite catch what was blocking the Triforce, if anything. He might have just gotten his no, he would have had full health if he got his Triforce left. It probably was a Gomar or Dig Dagger block. I just didn't see it. Oh, ladder blocked. Oh, even better. Thank you, Chad, for correcting me on what the block was. SassageLink is now just looking for the Triforce here in this level 1. The triple heart in level 1 might kind of push him towards the magical sword, but I don't think that's a major thought on his mind at the moment. I think he just wants to see the Triforce out of this level 1 and leave. And at this point, barring level 8, we know that one of the dungeons that the runners have been to is going to have some sort of progression. It could be 5, because we haven't seen much of 5. We know it can't be 7 because we've seen both items. We know it can't be 1 because we've seen all 3 items. We know it can't be 8 because all 3 of those items are ladder blocked. So it could be the floor item in 3. I don't recall if RK picked that up on his trip through. Could also be the stair item in level 5. Or it could be one of those pesky items in level 6. SassageLink will pick up his Triforce out of level 1 here. He is going to obey away. Let's see where he goes from here. He may be looking at a candle purchase. And as our tracker Boletta is pointing out in chat, that is correct. Levels 2 and 4 are going to be behind the recorder and the raft. We don't know which one is under which, but what we do know is those 2 dungeons are not the dungeons you want to see blocked, because those tend to be the much easier, quicker dungeons that you can do with less resources. And also note, you did not have to pay a heart in level 1 to go into the dungeon. Your options were pay a heart, pay a bomb, or Cleopatra. None of which sound like preferred options at the moment. RK takes a death here in level 1. SassageLink is headed back to level 5. I actually like this idea. I like this call to go to 5 here. It tends to be friendly with keys. He has bombs. He can go back past this pulse voice room now because of his keys. RK has picked up his heart container in level 1. That's one of the three. Uses the key just to get ladder blocked. What an unfortunate fate. He's now going to go the other way. Finds that he is not ladder or key blocked in this room. He's going to opt not to clear this room for now. Not a bad idea. And, oh, hello. Looks like we have a stair item in level 5 right here. Assuming it's not segmented. If this is a progression item or the bow, that is going to be huge for SassageLink. It is a heart container. I'm starting to think we're gonna just have to go dig 6 for progression at this point. Based solely on the fact that we're running out of options. Because we have... it could be a magical sword seed. SassageLink is currently up to 9 hearts, and I believe he has 3 overworld hearts left yet to get. The catch is, he did give up 1 heart in level 1 to get into there. So he could be thinking, okay, if I have to give up hearts or bombs, he could be thinking get extra hearts for that and pick up magical sword as a proxy. That looks like a meat block. That looks to me like a meat or ladder block. But that will only be blocking the Triforce because we have seen both items out of level 5 at this point. If anything, it may not even be a block. It might just be a red herring. We will find out in a second here, based on how much of this combat SassageLink is able to do. RK is doing his cleanup of level 1. He will be out of here momentarily. Then he is going to have to make a choice as to where he wants to go. He can go to level 5, look for the stair item there. That may be the ultimate decision he makes. Oh, look at that! No meat block in level 5. Meat will not be required. Triforce was just a room away. But really, I think it's going to come down to which runner goes to 6 first. Now, the other side of the coin, too, is that SassageLink has not been to level 3 yet. If he opts to dig both items out of 3, which I don't recall if the second item in level 3 was blocked as RK is picking up his 1 Triforce. And if that second item in 3 is progression, that could be huge for SassageLink. And as Chad is pointing out, the wand right now is making a big difference between the 2 runners. Sassage finding out the unfortunate news, he's going to have to go to Forgotten Spot to get his candle. And we know he's going to have to go there to buy it because the red candle is in level 3. RK is immediately going back into level 5. I don't disagree with this play because you know that the Triforce in 6 is ladder block. You know that 6 is a gigantic dungeon and the Triforce is a couple rooms in. 5 is generally smaller, friendlier on keys with the exception of this room, and more likely to be able to get. He has to go to Forgotten Spot. He could go to Death Mountain. There is a shop on Death Mountain that is also the candle shop. But the difficulty he would run into with that is by going to the Death Mountain shop, it's very far out of the way. He's instead, it looks like he's opting to go to the Vanilla 2 area, which could lead him to progression. And because of the fact that so far nothing required has been in level 3, the lack of candle is not really hurting SassageLink at the moment. If there is something progression in level 3, then the lack of candle will start to hurt him significantly. But until that point, the lack of candle is just simply a matter of cleanup in level 3, and not you have to get it for progression. Very important distinction. Now, I also think that Sassage is out of options as far as item places go, so he may just dig this 6 anyway. the other thing that we may see is RK may go back to level 7, try to dig that out, which he will be pleasantly surprised that it's a very quick 7 to get a wand and a heart container. That wand is going to help to even up the combat between the two runners. But that comes with the complication of SassageLink has not been into level 3 yet. So if he decides to go to 3 before digging to 6, it's going to give RK time to even this race out. At the moment, Sassage has the ever so slightest of leads because he's already done levels 5 and 7. Because he's already done the items in levels 5 and 7. But that lead is not safe at all, factoring in that RK has already gotten the Triforce out of 3 and already has a candle. Sassage is going to go ahead and clear out these Pulse Voice and continue to dig level 6. Finds more Pulse Voice. Surprise, surprise. And even more Pulse Voice. This level 6 just loves bunnies. RK has picked up his Triforce out of level 7. And yeah, this is a 6. Oh, but yeah, he's already been in there. He's going to probably try to bomb these walls in hopes that he doesn't have to just fight a ton of bunnies to get anywhere in the sea. But it looks like level 6 is saying, no, you're fighting the bunnies. Sassage is going to leave 6. He's probably just going to go try to get a candle. And go ahead and do level 3 first. Which is the correct play statistically. But it is going to put RK back in the lead. As RK does not have to do level 6 or level 6. RK does not have to do level 3 at this point. RK has that wand, so the combat is even. He does still have to go back to 5 eventually to get his Triforce. But I think the lead has swung back over to RK's favor by Sassage leaving level 6 and going to 3 instead. With the caveat, I do not recall seeing a floor item in level 3. If the level 3 floor item is progression and RK just missed it, that will turn out to be huge for SassageLink. SassageLink just left 6 because he didn't want to deal with every room being Pulse Voice. Sassage has now picked up his candle. We'll see where he wants to go from here. He may be taking the Power Bracelet Warp back. No? Oh, he never checked level 9. He never checked the middle 9 spot, so he's going to do that now. As RK gets the bad news, you're going to fight Pulse Voice, regardless of if you want. Also, therefore, BMOS rooms to boot. But RK picks up a huge clock. He's gonna have no problems clearing out this first Pulse Voice room. He is rewarded with a 5er, and most importantly, the ability to continue moving through the dungeon. And a Wallmaster room is a welcomed sigh of relief. And then immediately back to Pulse Voice. Like, this is one of those seeds where you just spend like 20 minutes killing Pulse Voice to get the raft so you can get the bow. This is gonna be one of those seeds. But he gets another huge clock. 2 times in a row. RK is able to get the clock on the first or second Pulse Voice. And all he has to do is just hit him a bunch and kill him off. Although now he has to go back to that other Pulse Voice room. So he will go in this way. Finds a ladder block. Oh. That is an ugly room to have to do. You can only candle boost one side of it, and he still gets hit. And this is not an easy task for either runner to have to do here. And he has to potentially re-clear that Bull's Voice room. RK is going to leave level 6. He might be thinking of going back into the level 3 to try to get that floor item, which would then put this race right back at even. As SassageLink is in there right now, he will also be looking for both items in here. Bear in mind, the Triforce in level 6 is ladder blocked. The runners cannot currently pick that Triforce up. Both runners in the same level at the same time. RK has the slight advantage of already having been through this level once. He does not have to worry about clearing every single room. He just has to go to the rooms he has not cleared. So RK may have a slight edge coming out of this dungeon, but if it is the case that there is no progression in 3, that may not matter, as both runners are going to have to be digging level 6. The reason they cannot go to level 8, as has been asked in chat, why not level 8? All 3 items in level 8 are ladder blocked. It's the book! Level 6 has the progression for the seed! Level 6 has the progression for the seed at this point, I can relatively confidently say. Because we saw 3 hearts in level 1, a heart and a book in level 3. Level 5 had Power Bracelet and a heart. 7 had Wand and a heart. Let's see. Level 9 was at level 9. The remaining dungeons are levels 2, 4, and 6. And level 6 is the only one of those dungeons left that the runners have available to them. RK is going to go look in level 5 for his floor job. He will find a Power Bracelet here. Level 6 has to be the progression, which means you have to do those Bull's Voice with just the wand and the wood sword. Unless Magical Sword is an available option, the runners have only picked up one of their bonus hearts. Unless the Magical Sword is an available option, you are going to be wand swording your way through these Bull's Voice. Now bear in mind that level 6 could simply just have the ladder and the rest of the progression will be in level 8. This race is going to come down to who picks up... It's really going to come down to who is able to clear more of 6 faster. It comes down to who finds that one item in level 6 faster. Outside of that, this race is completely even. Remember, even though it looks like SassageLink is down a Triforce, the Triforce that he is down is very quick to get in level 8. It's only a couple of rooms in, and level 8 was near start, so he will not have difficulty picking that Triforce up. And I believe he knows where it is. So SassageLink should not have to worry about that. RK is going to pick up the Triforce in level 5. Will he go back in for the floor item? I imagine he will, because I don't believe he's seen that Power Bracelet yet. SassageLink is going to spend his last key to find out that the floor drop item here is the book. RK is not going to go back into level 5. He may have seen that Power Bracelet. I don't recall that he has, though. SassageLink is now going to go and start clearing back some rooms of level 3. RK... Perhaps RK is thinking he's meat blocked. Well, looks like RK is making his way back to level 6. Maybe gonna pick up this Coast Heart. Nope, both runners are heading to level 6. Both runners have 0 keys. Both runners have 8 bombs. The main advantages that RK has at this point, if you can even call them that, are he has about 100 more rupees and 1 extra heart container. That is the only difference between these runners right now. They are both having to go into the 6 with 0 keys. They are both having to go through the 6 and kill off these Pole's Voice. This is not an easy situation for either runner. RK may have a slight advantage from having done some of these Pole's Voice rooms already. So, certain rooms that SassageLink may look to clear, RK has already done. And RK already knows there's nothing in them. Now, I do forget if we already saw a stair item in 6. We might have. I don't think we did, but we might have. Here we go. SassageLink is going to opt to clear this first room of Pole's Voice. RK is going to pass it as he's already done it. He's now going to clear this bottom room of Pole's Voice, which we know isn't necessarily strictly required, mind you. Bear in mind, there is the potential that you have to just face tank your way through that trap moat room. And SassageLink picks up a clock. He will now be able to clear this Pole's Voice room out for free. SassageLink picks up a 5er. RK is still battling with these Pole's Voice in the second BMOS room. SassageLink happy to see that there are wall masters in this dungeon. He takes the key door to the south. He sees the trap moat room. He's going to opt to go right instead first. And RK has to find a bomb wall here, or it's that trap moat room no matter what. You may just be forced to go through the trap moat room. RK is going to attempt it now. By coming in from this side, he will only have to take one way through. Oh, but he goes down to half a heart! He picks up a key. He is hoping for no more Pole's Voice. SassageLink is clearing out this Aquamentus room. RK finds a room full of Tektites, but it has a push block. This could be a stair. RK currently has the exploration advantage. It is a stair. It's the transport! Finding the transport stair first in level 6. And then immediately finds a ladder-blocked room. He's gonna have to go through this transport or start bombing his way around. SassageLink is gonna try this bomb wall. It does not open. He's thinking about doing this room. SassageLink takes the transport, is immediately greeted by a manhandler and the other side of the dungeon. He is now along the bottom row. Bear in mind, this room that RK is in can be a drop room. SassageLink is working his way through these Pole's Voice. RK has manhandler down to 1 head. Still has his 1.5 hearts, but is running out of bombs very quickly. RK is going to save the room state. Well, RK gets the bomb drop off the manhandler. SassageLink saved the room state, so he will only have to do 3 of those Pole's Voice, but he still has to kill a room full of Pole's Voice to get back there. RK is now deep in 6, and he's segmented out! You have to bomb out of the old man room! He has to do all of those Pole's Voice again! He might not have the health to get back through that moat room, depending on how many hits he takes. This level 6 is doing everything in its power to just make these runners have to work for everything. SassageLink gets another clock. He's going to clear this Pole's Voice room out again. RK has to go through back to the other side of the room. He might not have the health to do this. See, he makes it back to the other side. But now, because he's been to too many... I believe he's been to enough unique rooms, he's going to have to kill the Pole's Voice again. Hopefully SassageLink will bomb out of the old man room on his first trip there. You know, honestly, that old man room might be just candidates for setting up a ferry. That honestly might be the best strat here. Might honestly just be to set up a forced ferry on this old man. Alright, SassageLink is going to try to bomb out of this old man room. He can only go one way. Sassage now has the advantage over RK, but finds another room of Pole's voice. The Pole's voice are just everywhere in level 6. When they say multiplying like rabbits, this is not what the runners wanted! And SassageLink takes the death! RK cannot bomb that way. He has to go down to the bottom. Now RK has the minor lead. That's the sense of how close this race is. Both runners have done everything else they can possibly do up to this point. The runner with the lead is the one who was 2 rooms ahead of the other. Sassage gets another clock. He's going to be able to take this room out quickly. They are about to be in the same room. A 3-4 Pole's voice advantage for RK now. It's not even an advantage. It's just they're both doing the same thing because they have no other options. SassageLink is down to half a heart. He has to leave the room. He knows he can't up A here without re-clearing the entirety of the Pole's voice. RK is now past the old man room. He has 3.5 hearts. Bear in mind, SassageLink does not have the map because he has not been to that segment yet. Sassage takes another death to the Pole's voice. RK is clearing out this desert Pole's voice room. Gets a clock. Gonna leave the one alive. And sees Gibdos. It's not Pole's voice. That's the important thing. It's not Pole's voice. Deaths are extremely costly in the 6. There's a recorder! Recorder on the floor in level 6! Will SassageLink be willing to spend his key when he gets back there to pick that up? That may have just opened this seed up hugely for RK. And that may be the game-winning, item right now. RK is going to want to continue to dig this out. I think he will dig it out until he dies, and if he dies, or finds everything, he will move on. He still needs a ladder. SassageLink is just having all sorts of trouble with this Pole's voice room. He is going to opt to get a heal. And more Pole's voice. Blue ring is not out of the question. It's just neither runner has wanted to commit to it. SassageLink is gonna go get a potion. RKC is doing... RK is doing fine on health now. He is past the Pole's voice hell. He is now able to continue on in this dungeon. Relatively freely. Sassage is going to try to get a heal here. RK is looking for the other item still. He has not seen the second... well, he's not seen the final stair. This could be it here. It is... the other end of the second transport. He is running out of rooms to check, but he is past all of the Pole's voice. RK has a pretty big lead at the moment. However, depending on how quick Sassage can get in there, it may just be a couple of minutes. Okay, here we go. Second item in 6 is the raft! The raft and the recorder are in level 6. If SassageLink fully clears this level 6 out, he will be rewarded hugely but he is firmly behind RK at this point, just from the deaths he's taken to the Pole's Voice. RK is immediately going to go start cashing those in. Heads right to the raft spot, which is the vanilla level 4. Level 2 will be at Recorder Lake. And look at this! Right when you got done with the Pole's Voice, here's Blue Wizrobes. Out of the frying pan, into the fire. Like, this scene just does not want the runners to have anything. The scene does not want the runners to have anything right now. I would be of the state of mind to go bail, try level 2. RK wants this level 4, though. He wants this room. He's got it opened. If he takes a death in 4, he will have to re-clear that room and more Blue Wizrobes. SassageLink has made it past the Pole's Voice. Does he opt to go north here, or is he going to clear this room out? I don't see Sassage leaving this dungeon without both items. Gets a clock, he's going to clear this room if nothing else. Sassage kills the Pole's Voice, gets a key that may make him a little more willing to spend the key to go north, but he's instead going to go this way. He will make his way over to that room. I don't see Sassage leaving this dungeon without both items. If he does choose to do so, the best case scenario is the item that he leaves with leads to the bow. But he can get around that key door. Sassage is going to clear another Pole's Voice room. RK is going to clear out this Wizard room. He finds a staircase. This could be a segmented 4 based on how far to the top we are. Nope, it's an item. It's the bow is in level 4. If you are SassageLink, you want to, if nothing else, get the raft out of here, because that will get you the bow, and that will make this dungeon go from extremely hard to extremely easy. RK is still missing the ladder for go mode, but he is close. SassageLink is going to find the transport stair here in level 6. Thankfully, he is past the hardest part of the dungeon, so he will be able to pull both items out of here. RK gets the map of 4. It's definitely segmented. If Sassage goes straight to level 4, he will have his bow. Ladder is in level 4. rkctkc at 53 minutes and 21 seconds is now in Triforce and Go mode. He has everything he needs to complete the seed. And the good news for SassageLink is the raft is in this room. If he decides to bail with the raft, he will be able to get the bow and the ladder. So he will be able to come back here and just rip through this dungeon, but he will still need that recorder. Yes, to answer the question, they do need all of the Triforce pieces in order to complete the seed. He's not necessarily in big trouble if he bails just with the raft, because the raft is blocking the bow. He has to come back here regardless to get the Triforce. And level 2 is not necessarily a large dungeon to explore, so he'll end up back here to get the recorder anyway. Plus, as far as he knows, the ladder's in this dungeon. But RK has a huge lead here. Having already gotten the raft, already gotten the recorder, already gotten the bow, already gotten the ladder, he's just gonna plow through this level 2. Isn't gonna care about the items, isn't gonna care about anything that isn't a Triforce. As we have more Wizrobes. And leave another heart or bomb. RK opts to leave the heart. Don't blame him. Picks up a map of 2. It's the thing. SassageLink finds the other end of the transport in level 6. I don't recall seeing RK pick up the Triforce in level 4. This is the room with the recorder. This is good for Sassage. He's gonna clear this room out. He's gonna get his recorder. And hearing indication that RK did miss the Triforce in level 4, that is gonna be a big issue for him later on. He has the recorder. He might have been bomber key blocked. SassageLink is now going to go cash in his goods. If he goes to level 4 first, which I imagine he will, he is going to have his bow, his ladder. He is going to be in Triforce and Go mode for level 2. RK has picked up his Triforce in level 2, speaking of. SassageLink is going to level 4. The lack of Triforce out of level 4, if RK does not go back for it, could potentially be an issue. I imagine SassageLink, once he gets through this blue wizard room, is just going to stay in here. SassageLink is doing the door guard strats. RK is going to opt to jump into the shop. Sassage takes a death. RK is going to get his magical key here. Sassage is going to try to pirouette here. He's going to leave level 4 and go to 2. So, he's going to dig out level 2 in full here. He doesn't know that his bow and his ladder are both in level 4. So this is going to cost him some time, but he may get a red ring out of this. If he gets a red ring or a white sword out of this, that will give him a combat advantage going into 9, which may be the difference in the seed. He might also just be opting to get a health refill and then go back. I don't recall seeing any particular ladder or Goma blocks in level 6. Or level 6, it's level 2. So it may not be relevant. He's going to play the whistle, not get carried. RK is back in level 6, going to pick up his Triforce. It's looking more and more likely that RK will be the first runner into 9. Bear in mind, SassageLink still has to go back to 8 to get that Triforce. RK now remembers that he doesn't have the Triforce at level 4. He's going to have to go back there. Sassage immediately pays the heart, immediately gets the map. Sassage is once again in a Pulse Voice dungeon with Wizrubs with no bow and arrows. But it's probably better than dealing with that blue Wizrub room in his view. RK's going to pick up the safety potion here. Remember that I believe Sassage is only on blue potion now. And Sassage takes a death in level 2. And look at this, that is the other option if you don't want to deal with that. Like, this is a tough situation to be in as a runner, because you just don't know where your items are, you don't know that you need to go to 4. You're really hoping to see Red Ring at some point at the current going rate, you're really hoping to see Red Ring. Neither runner is going to be able to pick up the magical sword. RK having a little bit of health difficulty here in this room. He's going to use one of his 2 potion uses. And immediately gets a fairy. Sassage takes another death in level 2. So really for those that are just joining us, the big difference in this seed was RK was able to get everything out of level 6 and level 4 more quickly than SassageLink was. Both runners did everything possible. That's a boomerang. Both runners did everything they possibly could before going into level 6 to dig out the 2 items. Both items in level 6 were required. One was wrapped, one was a quarter. And in, what's the word? In SassageLink's case, he took quite a few more deaths than RK did, and that ended up being the difference between the 2 runners. RK has his final Triforce. He is going to be going to level 9. So, RK is going to be listening for the roar of Ganon. When you are 1 room adjacent to Ganon on level 9, you will be able to hear him through the walls. He's going to be looking for a single shutter door room. If the shutter does not open after killing all the enemies, and you have not killed Ganon yet, or if it opens automatically with enemies in the room after killing Ganon, that is the location of Zelda. SassageLink is not able to find the other item in this level 2. At this point, he is way behind and he's going to need to go to level 4, and RK is just going to need to have a lot of issues at 9 for Sassage to have a chance at catching back up. The more time he is spending in 2 digging out these items, the harder it's going to be. RK is now in 9 at 1 hour and about 55 seconds and 1 minute. SassageLink is trying to clear this room out. These blue wizards are not letting him go anywhere. There may be Mulber's voice, but with the silver arrows, Bull's voice go down in 1 hit, which is extremely important. We do have the audio on RK's side, so we will be able to hear when he hears Ganon. Fortunately, I do not have my audio on, as I cannot stand the sound of my own voice. SassageLink is going to get through this room, make it into the bottom wing of 2. What will he find down here? Oh, he's gonna find more Lionels. RK is gonna check this stair out. It's transport. He's not going to take it. Not surprising. Generally speaking, most runners will not take early transport stairs in 9. Now, because the Vyers are more than 4 HP, they are not part of the bomb-dropping group, so there will be another bomb-dropping enemy somewhere in this level 9. SassageLink is looking for his other item. He wants it not to be in a room with Wizrubs and Lionels. But he may not get much of a choice in this seed. RK is going to see another transport stair. He's going to opt not to take this one either. And more Wizrobes, more Lionels, and more Bull's voice. I'm pretty sure at least 6 of our dungeons have had Bull's voice and Wizrobes in them. And it's just a heart container! Red Ring is either in level 8 or in level 9. At this point, SassageLink knows he has to go to level 4, but is it too little too late? We know that he's not going to go check level 8 because level 8, its items were ladder blocked, and he will have the ladder by the time he's done in 4. Red Ring is in 9! Red Ring is in level 9. That may be the final nail in the coffin on the sea, but we don't know quite yet. Ganon and Zelda still have not been found. Now, do bear in mind, for RK, this is a do-or-die race, as SassageLink is up 1-0, but if RK does win this race, they will go to a Game 3, which is scheduled for some time I'm not 100% sure of yet. If it's even scheduled. Sassage takes another death in level 2. It's really what's really hurting Sassage so much is these deaths are just piling up, and he is leaving. I don't know if he's just getting a health refill or if he's going to go to level 4 here. If he goes to level 4, he will at least have silver arrows to make those rooms easier. You have a potential Zelda here, and it is not. And SassageLink is going to level 4. He has to know ladders in here. He will probably find bow before ladder. Wait, no, he's not going to fort? He's going to the shop. And we're back! Alright, so a couple things happened. SassageLink is now in Triforce and Go mode. RKC looks like it looks like he has not found Zelda or Ganon yet, although because we couldn't quite fully tell, he might have found Zelda in that top left corner. We're not 100% sure yet. SassageLink is digging out this entire segment of 4. He's been in every room but the Triforce room at this point. Okay, RK is still looking for stuff. Sassage really doesn't want to up A here because he doesn't want to do those push-ups again. SassageLink still needs to get 4 Triforce pieces. He needs to go back to 2 to get that one. He needs to get the 1 out of 6, which is easy. He needs to get the 1 out of 8, which is easy. And he needs to get the 1 out of 4, which he's currently on the other side of the dungeon from. Hopefully he'll get a compass soon. He gets the compass, and he sees it's back at the start. Don't up A. Okay, he remembers that there's the Blue Wizard Room of Requirement. RK is currently still making his way through 9, looking for Ganon, maybe looking for Zelda again. We don't have confirmation that he's seen Zelda's door yet. We think he might have, but we're not 100% sure. SassageLink is about to go get his Triforce in here. He just needs to kill these keys off. SassageLink has his Triforce out of 4. He just has to go back to 2, 6, and 8, get all those Triforces. RK has found Ganon. In the top right corner of 9, it might just... And that may be curtains for Sassage on game 2. He's going to need 15 hits with that wooden sword, but he does have Red Ring, so he can face tank quite a few fireballs to set these stun locks up. You know, I imagine SassageLink just has to feel horribly behind, only having 5 Triforces at over an hour in. Unfortunately, the case is that he is that far behind. Ganon goes down. We'll know if RK fully saw where Zelda was based on if he makes a beeline back for that door. Or if he's going to continue searching 9. Nope, Zelda's right there! SassageLink is going to finish with an official Well, SassageLink is official. RK is going to finish with an official SRL time of 1:14.16. Sorry, I'm getting people confused all over the place. So RK will force a game 3. As Sassage is heading back to level 6 to pick up his Triforce. That is correct. The official SRL time was 1:14.16. Sassage just picked up his Triforce out of level 6. He just needs to go back to 8 and back to 2. SassageLink looks like he might have been having a little bit of a controller issue. We are joined by the winner of Game 2, RK. GG's to you, sir.
Thank you. That was rough.
Seed 2, level 6. Your thoughts?
I refused to go to level 8 because of how much time and that I wasted in level 8 on the last game. So 6 is I just was going to go no matter what.
For what it's worth, we're pretty sure that the 3 items in 8 were ladder blocked anyway.
Oh, fantastic, because I was worried that he was just going to stomp me for me not going to 8.
So, what ended up happening, and what really broke the race open, is both of you were trying to make your way through those pulse wish rooms in 6 at the same time. You were able to do it first.
Oh man, I think I was down to like half a heart at one point. I just didn't think I was going to make it.
Real quick, just going to say that SassageLink did forfeit out of the race. He did get through 6. He did get all the items he needed. He probably just didn't want to deal with level 2 anymore. And we are joined by him. GG, sir. I think we are. We are.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry. Thank you.
So, level 6 happened in Seed 2.
Yeah.
Seed 1, however, level 8 happened.
Yeah. I think I left level 6, I don't know, 4 or 5 times in this one.
I think I did the same, and then I ended up dying about 10 times in there, too.
Yep, same here.
I mean, you know it's going to be a good seed when the game is like, here, have all of the Pulse voice rooms in a row.
I would have been okay if it wasn't for those BMOs firing at you from every corner.
Yeah, that definitely did not help. So the first seed had the spiral staircase room in 8, and that ended up being what gave you, Sassage, the win in game 1. Is you were able to do that on your second trip in 8, and it took RK a little bit to get back over there.
Yeah, probably 9 or 10 tries.
Yeah, I can see that taking quite a feature.
Yeah, and I had went to every single room except for the one just to the left of that recorder.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say, yeah, I dug about half of it there at the beginning, and with those beefy keys, my combat just wasn't there, so I decided to dip it when I had a little more health and a little more off.
We also remarked here in the booth about how you guys literally took the exact same route in Seed 1, pretty much. Like, there was maybe one point where you guys were in different dungeons, elsewise you were just constantly on top of each other.
Well, I kept leaving dungeons too, and then second guessing myself, and then wanting to go straight back, and then get in there, and then leave again.
Yeah, I think I did that quite a bit too, so it was just kind of the way the progression of that seed ended up.
Yeah, I just felt like I couldn't find anything. Even like 40 minutes in, I still don't have anything I need.
I pretty much played that whole first seed like I was playing from behind, because just I couldn't seem to get any progression until about 40 minutes.
So now that you two are going to a game 3, has that been scheduled? Do you guys have any ideas to when that's going to be?
Yes, it'll be tomorrow at 7 p.m.
That will be something to look forward to, as hopefully the race then is as close as these 2 races were, because like outside of the whole level 6 being absolutely terrible, these races both were extremely close. Also, for what it's worth, SassageLink Red Ring was a 9.
Okay, I pretty much figured that.
And I dug a lot of rooms in mine too.
So with that, do you guys have any final thoughts on how the series has gone so far, the tournament in general? That's what.
Well, right now I'm just kind of happy to be where I'm at, and really, really happy to be able to force a game 3 on this. I figured I was going to get swept, but so far so good. Been happy with my progression so.
And I thought I was going to get swept at the same time. You know, Sash is a pretty good player. But I got seeded on the first round. I didn't have to do a first match. So and I skipped week 5 altogether, so I didn't have really much practice at these bracket flags.
Yeah, these bracket flags, they seem to, when you throw everything together, they really tack on quite a bit.
We'll say GG's to both of you again. Thank you to the both of our runners, SassageLink 83 and rkctkc, for giving us an absolutely wonderful set of races. We are going to go ahead and wrap up here, but real quick, I want to give shout-outs to our restreamer, Math Girl, our tracker for today, Boletta, who tracked both games, and my co-com partner, who was able to be here for Game 1, Homer J. Smash. This has been Elsoa. We will see you guys later on. And right before we go, let me go ahead and pull up the schedule to see what we have coming up later today as far as Z1R tournament shenanigans go. Alright, we have Sea Falcon and Jam Evil, games 1 and 2, going on at... That series is starting at 6. The second game is scheduled for about 7:30, but that will be immediately following Game 1. Then we have Zeb Gedney versus Adirondack Rick, Game 1. That will be at 9:30 tonight over on Speed Gaming. which all of these races will be on Speed Gaming, actually. We'll have Dr. J, PhD, versus Tom J at 10 o'clock. And we will have Angel FM versus Eat My Steel at 11 o'clock. All of those matches, with the exception of the Dr. J, PhD, and Tom J match, will be on Speed Gaming 2. Speed Gaming 3 will be hosting the Dr. J, PhD, and Tom J match. But with that, that is going to do it for us here. Once again, I've been Alsoa. I was joined by Homer J Smash for Game 1. And we will see you guys on the next set of races.